Okay everyone, hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Welcome to Party Poker TV. Hope you're enjoying the King's Casino stream there. So, what we're going to be looking at this week, right here on the diary, we got video analysis from Zimmerman60. So that's a new player who sent in video. And of course, live stream cash game action on Party Poker. Anywhere else. So, my name's Joe Craig. This is my front room. That's my awesome grinding chair. I pointed out last week. Welcome to the show. So, let's just start with the video. As usual, as the video goes on, ask me anything. Is there anything you disagree with? Anything you agree with? It's going to be hard to disagree with, right? Let's see what's happening. Let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. It should be popping up about now. It's on about a 2-minute delay. Okay. Okay, so Zimmerman60 is playing 5 NL fast forwards on Party Poker. So let me see if I can get it a little bit bigger. If I'm missing it up there, 1 second. I think it should be just about right. That's a bit better, isn't it? Perfect. Okay, let's get this show started. So we got 8-9 in the big blind, defending hand there from the small blind. So what's happened there is if we didn't have a hand, I'd probably continue with 100% of my defending range here. However, we do have something. Got a gut shot. So if we hit the jack, we make the straight. Now, if I have a hand that's got a little bit more strength than say nothing, so say I called with 6-7 here, don't really have anything, just have 7 high. What I prefer to do with a gut shot is check back on the flop and then let them perhaps bet out on the turn and we can raise. They've shown they've shown weakness by not betting the flop. So if they decide to bet a later street, we can get more money when we bluff them off it, and we still have an out to hit. So let's see what happens. I think betting is definitely the next best option, and 55% is really good both sides. Okay, looks like we're opening King Queen off in the cutoff for 2.5, so I like that sizing. It's a good hand, let's do it. Gonna have a double check to see what the stats mean that Zimmerman's put up. Also, just let me know if you can see and hear me in the chat. I know there was a stream being hosted earlier, so just want to make sure that's ended too. Yeah, looks like it's all going good. Excellent. Okay, ace 4 is an interesting hand. Let's see what happens when it comes around. So from what I can see in these stats, this guy's got the rock image, so that means be quite careful playing hands with him. However, ace 4 suited, it's good enough to defend. I'd just play it maybe a little bit more carefully than I usually would. So just keep that in mind. I mean, he's going to be opening more than 12% on the button, but yeah, just proceed with caution. So this flop looks like a check call. I don't really see any other option here. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So check again is what I do. Okay, so on this turn card, I think a lot of villains are going to be double barreling because they'll see it as a scare card, and they'll probably be thinking something along the lines of we have pocket 7s, pocket 8s, maybe pocket 9s, or maybe just naked ace with a gut shot. So what I'd strongly be inclined to do in this spot is raise. Now this gives him the option to get a few better hands to fold to, like some higher pairs than 4s, because the only hand he's going to be like really happy with here, like at the bottom of his range, is going to be something like ace, queen. Even if he's got like 10 queen and hit a queen here, he's not going to be super happy when we raise him on the turn. So and then we still have outs anyway. Prefer if it was a queen of diamonds. However, this is a guy I don't want to be messing around with too much, as he is going to be playing a much tighter range than normal. So I don't mind a fold here either. Just have a think about what other moves you can do. So check raising the turn would be a decent move when a higher card hits. If something like like the board pairs, like 3 or something like that, it's less of a good spot to do it because they're not going to be bluffing that as much. Just something to keep in mind, and I think a fold here is fine. Hey Oban Haperka, how's it going? Maldwin 2, good to see you, thank you very much for the video. It looks like you just woken up with aces here as well, as soon as you logged in. I'm glad you guys couldn't see me and hear me. I thought for a second I was booting someone off the live stream there because I logged in and someone was already on it, you know? I was like, let's see, it should be fine. I'm going to be on at 9, right? Oh, brilliant. So, interesting spot of aces we got straight away. So the small blind has shoved for about 20 bigs. And I think 100% here, the best thing to do is flat. Because if someone wakes up with a hand behind us, we can just, you know, call it off. So say we flat here, and then the small blind or big blind looks down and they've got ace queen, ace king, and they're thinking, well, this guy just flatted, he's probably just got pocket eights or nines. They're going to try and take us off it, get us to fold, and we're just going to have them completely crushed. However, if this guy opens and we re-shove all in, or even just raise, which is essentially committing us, then they're going to look down at their potential pocket tens, pocket jacks, ace queen, ace king, and know it's not good anymore. So we want to give them the best chance possible to do that, to make that mistake, right? Yeah, against that guy, I would be very careful when you had the ace four diamond. You'd be surprised how often they do fold on the turn when I make that move. Yeah, it just looks so strong. And you know they're going to be bluffing it so much. So if he's got a high bluffing frequency, love the call there. If he's got a high bluffing frequency, it's just like you win extra money. Ah, he had the ace king. So interesting shove there. Loving the videos being sent in, guys. Again, if you do manage to have the audio, I think we were going to have audio, but there was a problem with this particular video. Let me just pause a second here. With this particular video, it would be so great to hear what you're thinking when you're calling and betting. Really interesting. I do have the stats up. I don't want to get too much into the stats because I don't want to put off any players thinking, there's like the 1,000 numbers on here, looks like a trading platform, and get confused. But I do just want to have a look what the free betting is here from this person in the small blind. Now, if it's a really wide free betting range, then we do not want to be continuing with frees. The reason is, if he's free betting us with stuff like Queen 7 suited, Queen 8 suited, and we hit our set, he's just never paying us off. We want to be set mining against people who are doing it with a very tight range, okay? Because then when they hit, they're going to hit harder and then we can stack them. Okay, so we got free bet, fold to free bet. Just 1 second. So free bet's the first one. So it looks like he's actually got really small free bet there, if that's right. 3.3%, is that right? I think that's right. Maldron, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that a you would play ace in the cutoff? Yeah, it's a good. So it looks like 3.3 is the free bet. If that's correct, then that is a really tight free bet, and I'd be more inclined to play against this player with pocket freeze. Because if we hit, I think we're going to be pretty good. Looks like there's a bit of hesitation before you called. I wonder if that's because you were checking how often he's free betting there as well. Of course we hit, because we're on live TV. Amazing. Is the quality poor? Let me just see if I can make it a little bit better. I think this is actually going to be the maximum quality I can get it. If I go any bigger, let me try this one more. Okay, thanks for letting me know that. Hopefully that's a little bit better. The it's on the maximum quality for YouTube, so hopefully it's okay. And the free bet's free, excellent, cool, so I read that right. So I'm interested to see how you play this one, and then I'll give you what I would like to see. I do think raising is definitely the best option here on this board. Okay, so I would raise there. The villain made it about 0.48. So what I really like to do is make it something, a really small raise, something like 1.1, because I find that it causes the less experienced players to put you on hands like, oh, he's probably just min-raising me with pocket 7s or pocket 8s and trying to take control of the pot. So now I can just reshove my 10s and jacks and queens and kings and aces. But when you make it big, you're saying to him, hey, I'm committed pretty much, I'm going with this hand. You do have to raise on this board because 4 is going to kill your action, 6 is going to kill your action, heart's going to kill your action. You may even lose with some of those cards. So you definitely do have to raise, but you don't have to make it so big. The smaller you make it, the more it looks like he may have fold equity by re-raising you off it again, and then you might just ditch your 7s and 8s. So other than the sizing, yeah, brilliant. Definitely raise that flop. That is not a time to slow play. I'm glad the quality is okay there too. I believe this is the biggest and best I can get it at the moment. So against this short stack in the cutoff, he's going to be having a pretty weak range. I do think 10 king is going to be good enough to isolate him. I assume he's going to be a weak player because he's playing such a short stack. You don't particularly need to make it 4x. You can make it 3x because he's only got 175 with the money in the pot. So you might save a little bit of money if someone does decide to come over the top, but it's a tiny thing. So I would go for an ISO there for sure. You want to play heads up in position against weaker players the whole time. Not really expecting that to happen. I don't see any other option other than calling it. I might be more inclined to fold if the guy in the big blind only had about $1 or $2 left and he might ship over, but yeah, I think we should call this. Okay, so looks like we hit a pair. We're not going anywhere. I mean, the min check raise pre-flop is pretty... It's not making me feel great, but we're definitely not folding now against the player with this stack size. I don't really see any reason in raising this, so I think just flatting it is fine. You definitely don't want the big blind to continue. Hopefully he's just going to fold anyway. Okay. What's he got, kings or something? Ace-7. Ah, oh, unlucky. So we were winning there. And we were definitely right to isolate that player because, I mean, he gave us all the indications of him being quite weak there. With that weird limp min raise when it got cold called with Ace-7, which is crazy. So yeah, look out for players like that. If you're down 18 buy-ins, Maldwin, then, I mean, that sounds like a lot. But you were up to like 600. I think you said in the other stream, $600 playing 5NL. So why do you think that is? Because that does seem like quite a big downswing. Yeah, but it is online and it is fast forward, so you can probably reduce that by a quarter if you're looking at it in a live poker sense. The thing is, when they just bet small, I find I get a lot of folds when I raise. Yeah, so you do have to raise that because it's such a wet board, but I don't know. Do you think if you raise small, they're more inclined to fold than re-raise and continue? I've raised 3x on the flop and then bet turn, and people fold a lot with set. How can I get their whole stack? So do you mean when you flop it in a 3-bet pot, Urban Poker? Yeah, it's a strong move. Raising 3x on the flop and betting the turn is a really strong move. It depends what their stack size is. So if you think you can get their stack in over 2 streets, it's a pretty good move. Let me know what you mean, Urban Poker, in that particular situation. Give me an example. Simply, they may not just have much when you make that move. So it looks like we're looking at stealing stats here. However, 8 queen is a pretty decent hand anyway on the bottom. So I'll be raising that the entire time, unless you were checking to see if they were free betting light, and then it's, you know, it is worth having a little look there. So there's a shorter, about 50 big blind player on the button here, thinking about making an open. Or just timing out while he sorts his life out. Opening 3x there, looks good. Take it down base 10. Like that. Really like the avatar, by the way. The box with the eyes. You're giving nothing away with that. Yeah, flat in King 10 is not good because it's going to go 4 ways, and isolating weak players in poker is like the bread and butter of the game. Yeah, so if I've had like a bad week or a bad month, I load up my probably top 20 hands or so, and make a checkbox and just write down, was it a cooler, was it me playing bad, or did I get sucked out on? And if like 15 of the 18 fall under getting sucked out on or coolers, then you know you can't really do anything about it, it just happens. It's a good exercise to do, to just check that you're not making any big mistakes or running bad. Like yesterday I took a day off because I just wanted to do a day of studying, but I ended up just entirely working on my website. I put out a whole website in a day yesterday. It was knackering. Never done that before. I did do a tiny bit of poker studying, just a tiny bit. But it's good to have a break sometimes, yeah? And I probably only played like 2,000 hands, you know, nothing. So there's a big blind steal stat here that I just want to have a look. So big blind fold to steal. Maybe we don't have enough hands on this player to see it. Just by looking at this player's stats, 24, 15, and he's playing like 70 big blinds, I would not be looking to steal this hand. But it's always worth a little look when it's small blind v big blind. So it looks like we're looking at the stealing opportunities here as well. Small blind looks really tight. The big blind looks like he might cause some trouble if we open. And I think we're going to get this through actually. So that's a nice open. Yeah, Jack 7's in definitely the opening range there, and nice snap fold. There's no need to even look at free betting stats there. It's not a hand that you want to be continuing with. There's so many better hands that you can call free bets with there. If you notice he's doing that a lot, then take Jack 7 out of your opening range. Just want to have a quick look in the chat. So my game revolves around stealing in a red flex game. Yeah. If it revolves around stealing, then it's probably better to play against the regs, isn't it? Is they going to be folding more in the blinds? Well, if you're stealing, then there's no rake pre-flop anyway, right? So you just take it down. So stealing against regs is definitely going to be an option that I'd be looking at constantly. However, playing heads-up pots against the weaker players in position with a skill advantage and a card advantage, they're going to be the things that you're going to make so much more money on than stealing. So it's good you have that plan, then, but also that's like a, what's it called, secondary motive. It's really good that you're thinking about those things because they are really important, especially as you move up stakes. Stealing blinds is huge, makes a huge difference to your win rate. But playing against the weak players in position heads up is like the dream spot. Look for those spots constantly. And also squeezing if you think you can get heads up against those players as well. So looks like example from earlier, 100 big blind each. They have aces, flop is king 7-3. They bet flop. I raise 3 times. They call. On the turns a deuce. They check. I bet 3 cop porters. They fold. Okay, so it's a single raise pot. If you find that people are folding to that action a lot, and to be honest, Urban Poker, it looks like a really strong action, so I don't think they're going to be continuing very light there. If you think they're good enough to fold those hands, then I would strongly consider flatting them on the flop rather than raising. If the board's king 7-3, it doesn't look very drawy, so you're not too worried about any other cards coming anyway. In fact, you probably want an ace to hit, unless they specifically have aces. You probably want an ace to hit, because then they might continue bluffing if they are bluffing. Sometimes it's good if a free hits, because that takes out another combo of sets from your range, because you probably don't have kings, you don't have quads, so 7s is the only one you can have. So yeah, think about against the better players flatting on the flop and flatting the turn, and then if they bet the river, you can make a little raise. Alright, let's move on to the stakes jet. Okay, so if we squeeze this hand, we're committing ourselves against the cutoff. We can still stack him because the pot's going to be 40 and he's going to have about 140 behind. We'll potentially knock out the small blind by doing that. So I don't think this player is crazy enough based on the stats for us to make it say 50 and then shove every flop with ace jack and be good. I might be more inclined to do that if we have ace king. I think flatting here is the best option. But I can see you're having a look, yeah. It's always worth having a look to see what the options are. I think he's going to go for it. Don't time out. Yeah, so if you're making it 50, definitely shove every flop. I don't expect the small blind to ever continue here. Yeah, played. I think he played that well. Was pretty close. In my head I was going through what is the best thing to do here. It makes it harder for him to make a mistake if he has a hand better when you make that move. I don't think 6-7's even worth over limping or trying to isolate there, so I think that was a good fold as well. What is this guy? It's free bet. So free bet is 28.6. So I'm guessing you didn't notice his free bet was really, really high there. Because 3-4 would not be in my opening range if I knew that. I don't think this guy's folding to free bets if it's only 50%, so I'd probably do it with better hands than 7-9. I mean, sometimes it's easy to miss the stats when you're playing, especially if you're playing multiple tables. This guy looks like he's free betting a lot, so hopefully he does it in the big blind when we have queens. That'd be nice. And he has. So I think it's a little bit tricky to see. I can't see if that's a 5 or a 3. $3 he's got behind. I think this is a definite stack off. I don't quite think it's strong enough to flat. Because if we check on the flop and he checks behind, he's going to see 4 cards there with almost certainly an ace or king in his hand. Also, if he's free betting small, big blind versus small blind, he probably is going to be stacking off things like 10s and jacks, and we definitely want him to be doing that. So I'd say get it in and good luck. So we'd make. I'm gonna assume he has 100 big blinds. It's just a bit tricky to see. So yeah, go ahead and make it 115 or so. Like 120, 115 sounds good. Again, you always want them to think they have a bit of fold equity when you 4-bet them. A bit like when you min raise them on the flop when you have a set pretending you got a little overpair. So we have to call this, and we'll just see. It doesn't look like a great flop. Club? Yeah, maybe good. Awesome. So he stacked off 4-8 there. Interesting. This would definitely be a time that I'd make a note on that guy. Even with an 11.6% free betting range, he's yeah, I don't think 4-8 suited should be in there. Have you got a really high fold to free bet Maldwin or something? I don't know why he's doing that. No. 53, yeah. Yeah, confusing hand. I would up my 4-bet shoving range against this guy and definitely take a note against him, because I do not know why that happened. See, these are the spots. So you can take money off the regs, yeah. You can steal the blinds and stuff, but these are the times when you're gonna make all your money. Smallbone folding was my fault as well. Shorty, I go over it. Half of them to play have worse. Nearly flattered ace jack free-handed. Yeah, it's really close. It's super close. Yeah. I think you can definitely go either way with it. The thing is, if you free bet it and they come over the top, you're not good anymore. Ace jack's just not looking great. Yeah, so I think people stack off tens and jacks blind v blind, so you have to get in the queens anyway, and usually they have ace king as a flip. Yeah, so I do, I mean, this is the free coaching I do. The thing is, I think Zimmerman or Maldwin sent in this video about, how long ago was it now? About 3 weeks or so ago. I've got quite a long list of people sending me videos, and I'm trying to get through them. So, I mean, that would be the free option for coaching. I do go into more detail, so breaking down ranges, what sort of spots to look for, opening hand ranges, and I'm not talking about opening hand range charts. I'm talking about anticipating what kind of players are going to call you and what moves they're going to make, and how you can counter that before you even open your hand. Yeah, it does go into a lot more detail, but I don't want to get too complicated on Party Poker TV. I'm loving a video with the stats, by the way, because I can see you're using them really well. But even then, I'm just sort of like, I don't want to make it too complicated. So, yeah, in a live coaching one-to-one, I definitely do this. And yes, I do offer one-to-one coaching. It's on my website. I'll put my website up at the end. Thank you. Yeah, fun reg. He didn't seem that crazy, right? I'm so surprised to see that hand. Even a 68% fold to free bet is a... it's not a target with 8-4. If you're raising 8-4 suited, then... I mean, what is that going to be? You're probably free betting like 35% of hands there or something. So the button's opened. He looks like he probably knows what he's doing with these sort of stats. We've got 6 queen. It's going to be very close to the bottom of our range here. Because it's a min open, I don't mind it so much. These are tough spots to win. I don't see other option other than check calling here. I don't specifically mind a fold pre-flop either. If we got queen 8 suited, I'd feel a little bit more like we have to play, but 6 queens okay. If it's a mistake, it's not a big mistake, is what I'm saying. Okay, so it's gone check check. Don't think we need to protect our hand so much. I'd prefer a check call here on the turn. I don't think we can get much value from anything else. If he's got like a gut shot, like 10-9 or something, I can't really see us getting value from any other hand. So I like that check there on the turn. And then check check, and hopefully he's played pocket 5s badly. And it goes check check. So that bit on the river makes me think. Yeah, I don't think we're winning. I'm not sure what he's got there. King 9 would be my guess, but he still played it weird, if that's what he has. Seeing how far we got, so nearly about halfway through the video. I think what I'll do is play a few more hands on this. You can see it's only a we've only gone nearly 10 minutes in and there's so much content to go through already, isn't there? Okay, so I've moved the video around a bit, let me just get it right. There we go. So King 7 is a fold-in small blind, yeah. Murphy's Claw is someone I definitely recognise. And look, yeah, you got a ton of hands against him there, don't you? 1.7k. So yeah, that's definitely an open. Let me just see what's going on the blinds. Looks fine. So this person on the button free betting 13.2. Now, if I'm reading the stats right, then I assume that's an overall free bet, and we can assume players are going to be free betting even stronger on the button. So you can effectively 1.5 or sometimes even double that figure when you're thinking about what ranges they have. So if we're opening this and he's free betting, we're definitely not folding it, we're defending it somehow. Having a fold to 4-bet range would be handy. However, I think calling's gonna work fine against this guy if he's playing that many hands. Let's see what happens. Oh, he's folded. Okay. Yeah, it is a good video. And thanks, Urban Poker. Yeah. I'll definitely when I stayed at home yesterday doing the website, I'm very proud of it. I'll give you a very quick rundown of it before the end of the session. I think the 8-4 suited was a 12-point shove showing off to their mate. Yeah. Yeah. There's always at least a 1% chance of that being the case. So you're going to be good 1% anyway. Okay, so I think we did 12 minutes of the last video this week, 12 minutes this week, and I think that's going to be quite a decent spot to stop here, and then we can look at the rest of it next week, so that'd be brilliant. Okay, so should we get into a game? We'll go on the website. Let me just briefly show you the website because I want you to be able to see it. I must be very careful minimizing this. So the website has all been updated to Crush Cash Poker now. No, it's going to be pretty tricky to see this. I'm trying to move around a bit. So it's basically a poker blog, lifestyles. The one I did yesterday was about nutrition and poker. So it's things like optimal health, how to reduce toxins in your body, and it's going to be looking at nutrition, so things that you want to be eating, things to keep your energy up, sleep-wake cycles, loads of different stuff going in. Look, it's even got toothpaste on there. Tuna, everything. So yeah, these will go down to all the blogs that I've done. But on the main menu, it's a little bit about me so you know who I am. And the poker training bit is here. So at the bottom, I've created a application form. So if you were looking to get specific one-to-one coaching, meeting in London, doing it over Skype or TeamViewer, which is actually really good way of learning too, then yep, you can apply that way too. So yeah, please have a look, and I hope you like the website. I think the black background works so much better. I know it looks a bit odd, but otherwise, you know, on the white websites, it just looks like you're staring into a light bulb when you're on it. So I thought I'd change that a little bit. Okay. So should we play some live cash for the last bet? I think we can do that. So as always, opt into the cashback you got there. Let's just see if we've won anything on the rewards too. Promotions. So we're gonna get a free Dust Till Dawn ticket here. Oh, I always think it's the 200 ticket, but it's 220. So worth a look. Any particular stakes that you think I should be playing today? Could try and do 5 or 10, 25. I don't think there's much difference in playing 25, 50 or 10, 25 today. You can see in the average pot, it's not very much. Okay, so let's go. Let's do some 5. Let's do 2-5 for the last 15 or so. So I'll try and keep up with the chat as much as possible. Mold win, we'll get back to that video. I'm going to start mixing them around a little bit. Because otherwise some people might be waiting a really long time to see their stream up. Again, not going to be topping up, so you can see some shorter stack play as well. I won't bother explaining the HUD stats to you unless I believe it's relevant, because it's just going to save a lot of time. This would be a hand that I'd consider re-raising with as a bluff. However, I have no idea if that guy's going to fold. I will do my best to show you how it's done. It looks like there's a lot of new players here because I can't see any stats on these guys. Unless the holder manager's not working. I always get like a little, is it gonna work today? I did one or 2 weeks flying solo and I don't know if it helped or not. I definitely felt less comfortable about them. To be honest, I wish they weren't there, because I think if they weren't there I'd pay more attention than everyone else, but since they are there you kind of have to use them. It's like having a sat-nav in a car. Like, it just makes it so much easier. Alright, so we're going to open this to 3x. He seems to be folding a lot in the big blind, so we want to kind of discourage him calling. When we get to this flop, I was expecting him to fold pre-flop, so I expecting him to be defending a lot. I think if that 7 was a 6, I'd be more inclined to have 1 c-bet there. It just looks a little bit too connected. So I'll play for about 15 minutes or so. Oh yeah, I'll put it in for you. There has not been much happening for the first 20 hands or so. This guy in the big blind's re-raising too much, so I'm not going to waste any more time. They're waiting to see if it folds around. Are you joining in on this game, Zimmerman60? I think there's a pretty big pool tonight, actually. See how many people are playing. Yeah, look at that, nearly 200 today. I was going to say, I think this is nearly a world record for folding there. 4%. I open hands like 9-7 suited when I'm in the middle position, so I was just having a quick look around the table to see if there was anyone who's playing really tight, and then I basically just ignore them at the table and say, yep, I'm opening my new range from here now. So we've got a short stack player here opening. We don't need to make it too much, so it's going to be a value raise. Let's make it to 45. Hopefully the button's going to re-shove here. That would be really nice. That's a great flop. So we only need 2 streets to get it in. However, I think this guy is probably just going to be stacking off hands like 7s and 8s. So I just want to get those in before anything bad happens. Against a smarter player, I might check raise. Yeah, so if you think they're going to be stacking off hands like medium pocket pairs, they definitely don't check the flop. Yeah, let's have a look at this. So we flopped an open ender here. We're going to bet. We're definitely calling the min raise. As long as the spade doesn't come, we're going to be pretty happy. I'm really confused about this line here when he goes check, min raise, check, but I mean we've got like the perfect price to hit our draw now, so I don't really mind a check back. It might actually encourage him to bluff a river if we hit, so hopefully he's bluffing a river. The only hand beats us ace jack. Would he min raise ace jack on the flop possibly? We're definitely not going to do anything. Hopefully he's got 10 king. Something like that. Yeah, so if they... I don't really know what people min check raise the flop with in this player pool. But I really like checking back the turn because you're giving yourself the right odds anyway, and it can encourage them to bluff the river. This guy's folding a lot to free bets, so I think we can open up our free betting range just a little bit here. See what's going on. If he calls, I'm pretty much done with the hand, by the way. I'm not expecting to call here ever. Well, 17% of the time, yeah. Chilling with a wine, yes. We're gonna just try and take this away with a 3x. I like openings 2.5 if I think they're gonna continue, but if they haven't played any hands there to steals, I just try and encourage more folds. Like, just let me have it. guy who's opened under the gun looks very suspicious. In the big blind, I think that's definitely a call, but we're not completing the action there in the small blind. And I think free betting is just going to get us in a lot of trouble. This might be... this is close. I think if we free bet this hand against a 67% fold to free bet, we might be doing it a little bit too much, but it is quite close. I'm expecting this guy in the small blind to free bet us a lot. So I'm going to open quite small. If he free bets, I can 4-bet and hopefully get the fold. So we don't need to make it too much. He's playing 110, so let's make it about 110. Let me just double check that small blind stat is correct. Looks good. Yeah, so hands like that, that's the sort of thing that you'd get in the one-to-one coaching. So I'm opening that hand specifically because if he's going to be free betting, I know he's going to be free betting me, so I already need to have a backup plan for that. And by opening smaller, because he was only playing about, what was it, 85 big blinds or so, it means that he has to free bet smaller, and then we can 4-bet smaller and we're not committed. So yeah, those are the things that add up over a long time, really help. I'm just having a look to see if anyone's going to squeeze behind if I call this, and I don't think they are, and I do think this guy might continue with a big range, and he's our target at the moment. Alright, well if this guy calls, we're in. If not, then we're giving up. You can take our 15 cents, have a French fry on us. Now this guy is free betting a ton, an absolute ton in the big blind. So 19% is what he's doing it with, but he's also not folding to free bets. So this is the sort of guy that I'd open and then ship with hands like pocket nines to ace queen, because he's just doing it way too much. But you can't open hands that weak and then 4-bet them, because they're not going to fold. Okay, I'm probably just going to play another round or so. So we've got a gut shot here. It'd be nice if we had the ace of spades. This is one of the situations that I would bet, because it's a good board to bet. It's pretty dry. If I had nothing, but I have a gut shot, so we're going to check. And we're checking to raise the turn. We're making a bet here, because I think we're winning. I didn't really expect to call, but I think he is going to be calling with hands like 9 queen, 7, like 7 jack and all that stuff. So I don't really think we need to bet this one, and I don't think he's going to be folding 5s or 4s. So yeah, it's fine. The nice thing about betting so small on the turn there is that you can hit and they'll pay you off when you hit anyway. That's an interesting spot. I think if we... I don't really have enough information on this player. I feel like he's going to be doing it with too wide a range now. Wouldn't usually fold 9s versus a button cut off there, but I just think he's going to be going crazy there with hands that he probably shouldn't be. This guy's opening, free betting quite a lot, so we're going to reduce our raise size blind v blind. Now we can't get free streets of value with Queen Jack on this board, so I'm going to start off by checking. When the 5 comes, I don't really expect him to be bluffing that very often, so I'm just going to bet. Don't need to bet big, should go small. If he's got a hand like 8s or 9s there, then he's going to call that bet on the turn, and then we can bet really big on the river and we're good. Alright, so I think that's gonna just about wrap it up for this week. Again, send in your videos. If you go to the website I posted earlier, just click on any of the links, you can send them in. Get a mic involved, because I think the only person who brought the mic in last time, he had a bit of Dutch courage, but it was really fun to listen to him. None of this case, none of that GTO triple merge bluff, cool crap on the turn if villain checks, but I just try and keep it simple. Thank you though. I've actually got a coaching session set up in a minute as well, so I'm doing them over Skype. It's handy because I'm already at home. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and tune in next week. I think we're back to usual streaming again. Some of the people are still in Vegas, but yeah, it's usually going to be between 8:30 and 9:30, so please tune in and send in the videos. Have a really nice evening, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Oh, and if you're in London, let me know.